What's going on, everybody? Today, a little different video. Today's going to be an unboxing video. Got some new stuff, some new parts, new updates, as you can see. There's the Baja, nice painted body. But I know you guys, most of you guys don't really care about the body. So, there's the cage. That's what everybody really cares about, is the Team Chase cage. So, with that said, I got a package today from Horizon Hobby. I'm going to keep it on the floor because the box is kind of big, but yeah. Yeah, I disappeared behind the box. Hi guys. So, it's on the floor. Let's see what you got. See. Oh, lot of that. Okay, business end. For starters, decal sheet. The losi 5T. Just to have around. Sometimes it's good to have some extra decals for it. Hold my stuff. Let's see. Bag of parts. For starters, losi center front drive shaft. I only got one drive shaft, and I got the center. Reason being is the front center is the only dog bone that really worn down. I mean, on mine, my dog bone is worn down to almost nothing. If you guys saw the build video, you can see how worn down my drive cups are. With that said, I also got a set of front, where are they? Front and rear drive cups, because again, I'm going to rebuild all the drive cups on the losi. Some of you might be wondering, why did I go with the stock losi ones and not the Fat Dads or Team Chase? I'll get to that in a second. Also, here are the center diff cups, which are worn the worst, especially the front diff cup. The reason being why I did not go with Team Chase or Fat Dad, and I'll tell you why. All 6 of these drive cups to rebuild all 3 differentials in the truck cost as much as one Team Chase or one Fat Dad set. Now, I might be kicking myself halfway through the year. I might not be. I still have a tiny bit of life left in my drive cups. Could I push it? I probably could, but I'm going to do it. I don't know if they're going to wear down faster, which they probably are because I'm pushing a lot more power this year. If you guys have the Team Chase or the Fat Dad drive cups, I know they're a lot of money, but just let me know if it's something worth investing in. I had no idea, because if I spent that kind of money, if the Team Chase or the Fat Dads will only get me 2 seasons before I have to do them, it's still more cost effective to go with the factory losis, because I can buy these 3 times for one Team Chase. But if you guys have them in the truck and you've had them in for 4, 5, 6 years and you're still running the same ones, well, then it might be more cost effective to go that route. All right, off subject. Next on the agenda, I swear by these. For you guys who have tuned pipes on your trucks, you know how much of a pain in the ass it can be to tighten down the header bolts. Even if you have a good 4mm ball head driver, that one nut, that one bolt that goes under the header pipe is a pain in the ass to get to. So I run these. They're by MIP, and they're actually, they're called, it's part number 14350. It's the MIP header lock wire kit. It says for losi 5T, but it doesn't really matter. It'll fit any of them. And basically there's a stud that has an Allen on the end of it that you screw that into the engine, into the block, and then you would put the gasket on the studs, put the header on it. You have a lock washer and then 2 8mm nuts. You screw those on, and now you can just get an 8mm wrench and tighten it down. And there's little holes that are cut into the nut where you can put this lock wire in and just lock the wire down. When I put the G320 in the losi, I got the studs out of the stock 26, but when I went to tighten it down, one of the nuts broke. So I had to buy a new set just to replace one nut. And while I ordered it, I also ordered another set of the head studs, or sorry, the exhaust manifold studs, because I'm going to be putting the Dominator pipe in the Baja. I'm still waiting for that pipe from RC Hobbies and More, so I'm just waiting to pick that up. Next up, I picked up another Spectrum DX4S. The reason why I went with the DX4S is simple. I've had the radio for about 4 years. It's a great radio. So you might be wondering, why did I buy another one? About 2 years ago, I made a mistake. I was running one of my boats. I was at my parents' house on their beach running the boat. The boat rolled over close to shore. So I walked out to the boat holding the radio in my hand, and I went to grab the boat. Well, like an ass, I grabbed the boat with the hand that was also holding the radio, and I shoved the radio underwater. So I spent about 3 days soaking it in white rice. I sprayed the thing down with WD-40 to get the salt water out. I got the radio working again. The problem is the LCD screen was on the fritz. I managed to dry it out and clean it up, but also from dropping it, the rear toggle is all broken, and I just wanted to make sure I had a radio that was going to be functional to run both my trucks, because not only are my fifth scales tied to this radio, all of my vehicles are tied to this radio. So I want, now again, some of you also might be thinking Spectrum's releasing a new radio in like the next month, which they are. There's a pre-order on it right now. It's the DX5R. And it's only about $50 more than this radio. I don't know if that's the cost of the radio or if that's just the pre-order. From what I talked to the guy at the hobby store, he said that was, that was the actual cost of the radio. But I had great luck with the DX4S. Plus, this one has the update for AVC. Me, myself, I don't really run AVC. I took it out of the XXL2. For the way I drive, I'd rather not have the assistance. That's just me. But one thing about this radio is it does include 2 receivers. It includes the 4-channel SR410, and it also includes the SRS 4210, which is the AVC receiver. So it does include that, which is a nice little touch. The last thing I picked up is, you guys might know, I have that custom painted body for my 5T. Now the body is still in great shape. I do like to bash the truck, and I'm always afraid I'm going to ruin that body. A lot of you guys might think I'm crazy, but I bought another 5T body, a clear one. Main reason why is, again, it's a simple thing. It's stupid. Some of you guys might understand, others might not. But the one thing that killed me about that body that I have is the stupid hood scoop on the hood, knowing that it wasn't a genuine losi body. Some of you might be like, oh, who cares? It doesn't matter. In hindsight, it doesn't really matter, but it bothered me. It bothered me knowing that I had a King Motors body on my 5T. Again, I'm not knocking King Motors in any way. I'm not doing that. Because I actually, on this truck right now, these are actually King Motors tires that actually work very well, and they're exact matches to the Hostiles, and for half the price. But for me, I bought a 5T, I wanted a 5T, and if it wasn't for the fact that that was a custom painted body. If it was just a clear body, I never would have purchased that body, knowing that it was a King Motors body. But now I have my genuine losi body. I'm probably just going to do like a simple paint job on it, just a solid color, put some decals on it. Something similar to my 5SC body. Probably very rarely is that body going to get run on my 5SC. This is pretty much how it's always going to be run. With just a Team Chase cage, because I do really like the way it looks. And Brights, in the hindsight, I was actually able to rebuild my shocks, so now it's not all bouncy. Before, this thing had terrible suspension on it. I thought my shocks were blown out, and I was about to buy a complete rebuild kit for them. It turns out, like an asshole, I didn't bother to check the shock caps. Well, they were loose. So I thought it was the bottom, leaking all at the bottom. It was just coming down the seal. So that was a freebie. No cost at all to rebuild the shocks. That was definitely a plus. I did run this truck the other day, and I scratched my Team Chase cage, and it's really bothering me to look at that. It's very aggravating. I don't like looking at that. But with that said, this is the new setup. The only thing that I have left to pick up is, like I said, I'm just waiting for the pipe to come in for this bad boy. That hopefully should be in next week. And then as far as left for the 5T, I've pretty much done everything to that truck that I wanted to do. I got the engine, I got the pipe, the chassis braces, the suspension dialed in how I want it to be in. The only thing left to do is to re-gear it. So it's going to be getting a vertical clutch bell. And I don't know if I haven't decided yet if I'm going to do 21 or 22 tooth. Right now it's 19. I don't want to lose that much bottom end. But then again, I don't know how strong this truck's going to be, because I'm really anxious. I mean, I've had this truck running a couple times, but with the cold weather, I have it running in my garage every once in a while to try to get a heat cycle through it. But it's just so cold to even try to get that truck up to temperature. It's just not going to happen. So with that said, we'll see y'all later. So this is just a little unboxing, my stuff that I picked up. So with that said, we'll see y'all later. We'll catch you in the next video. And who knows, maybe my next video might be when the Dominator pipe shows up. And hey, if any of you guys have any suggestions on what gearing I should go into the 5T, like I said, for those of you who didn't see my last video, the truck is now running a Zenoa G320 with a Victory Big Bore. It's always had the Victory Big Bore, but now it's a big bore on an actual larger engine, so it's going to do good. Again, if you guys have any suggestions whether I should do 21 or 22, let me know. And for any other information, I'm going to be changing to the vertical clutch bell, because I like it that it has the larger hex to kind of put more drive to it. And probably I'm going to be changing the stock clutch bell carrier to a Turtle Racing clutch bell carrier, because it has the larger bearings and it can dissipate heat faster and yada yada yada. So if you guys have any suggestions, please let me know. Until then, I'll see you in the next video. Hope you like the Baja. The losi rested in the garage. See you later. In case you guys want a close-up. There you go. There's the Baja. As you can see. Oh, and by the way, new tires are on the way for the back of the Baja, because as you can see, they're bald. So, we'll see y'all later. Catch you in the next video. Bye, guys.